checking out my video. Today we will go over your very beginner basic building blocks for just how to climb up and down the pole. First of all, when we go to grab the pole, my favorite pointer to give is that we don't want to think of clenching around it and grabbing it so tightly with like crazy claw hands, you know, like that is engaging pretty much every single tiny little muscle in your hand, and you're going to wear your hands out a lot faster. How we would rather think about it is more of a finger to palm press, like a closing sort of motion, and I'm just kind of pressing my fingers towards my palm. So when I grab a hold of the pole, I'm thinking more of compressing the metal in between my hand than clenching around it, if that makes sense. Your hand press is going to engage less muscles than if you're clenching around it crazy like. So let's save hand energy and think of a press, fingertip to palm press. Our first climb I'll be showing you today will be our caterpillar-like climb, where we're using our bottom half and upper half of our body kind of to work with each other to push and pull our way up and down the pole. We always want to make sure when we're pulling and engaging our upper half, our strength is coming from those nice strong lats in the back. We want to make sure we're not grabbing and reaching to where we're straining our shoulders all the way up by our ears. We want to make sure we're keeping those lats connected, those shoulders into those lats, those traps down into those shoulders, and everything is powering nice and strong with our pull, and we're never yanking our shoulder out of socket or anything. Our core will be nice and tight this whole entire time. This is our main powerhouse here. Everything kind of starts here and branches and pushes our strength all the way out. So core, and then of course your very important upper body, but not starting here in the biceps. We really want our strength to come from these lats here in the back. Your lats are nice, huge, lovely muscles. They're connecting directly to our core here. So we want to have that nice chain from our core up into our lats, lats connecting into the shoulders, shoulders up into the traps, and then of course into your arms as well. But your arms should not be the main powerhouse for your climb. We want the whole body starting at the core, up into the back and shoulders, down into the legs. Well, today I would hope to show you how to be a little smarter and methodical with your climbs instead of using up all your upper body energy just to reach the top of the pole. Every time you mount the pole, we always want to be using a back foot behind the pole. Doesn't matter which one, pick one. It's great to practice both sides. By back foot, for starters, until we build up the strength to point that back foot, we're just gonna have a nice flexed foot, like so. We're aiming to kind of let the pole sit in this nice little ridge here. I like to call it a shelf. I refer to a lot of parts of our bodies as shelves that we end up sticking the pole on top of to balance and rest our weight. So we're gonna make this lovely little shelf with our back flexed foot, like so. It's gonna go against the pole here. Your front foot is then going to have a nice lovely point to it. A, so that it looks nice. We always want to have intentional feet. B, the point helps engage all those muscles in your legs that are going to help hold you on the pole. From there, it's also going to create this lovely little ridge in our heel that we're going to use to wrap around the front of the pole. Again, we're creating a sandwich with the pole, this time in between our feet, like so. Da-da-da-da. So when we get on the pole, it's hooked in here, like that. Nice little shelf to squeeze and hold. We also want to have, we're gonna have 3 points of contact on our legs. We want to have point of contact between our feet, behind the knees, and between the thighs. As far as your knee grip goes, we don't actually want to grip the pole with our knees. There's a lot of bones and tiny parts. We don't want to injure any of that. So let's make sure when we're pressing our legs onto the pole, we're pushing our knee past the metal here so you don't actually have any contact with your bones on the metal pole. We're using the skin that's right behind all the bone. I know everyone has different shape and size legs and everything,
we've all got a little bit of something back there behind that knee bone. That's the part we're kind of looking to rest and grab and squeeze the pole with. We're doing that same part on both sides of the knees. Foot shelf, knee, just past the pole, heel, squeezing between the knees. When we get a really nice tight grip, we're also going to press forward, and the pole should come to a nice final resting place in between the upper thighs, just below your crotch region. We never actually want to jam that pole up in the crotch. We all know it's very, very sensitive. You don't want to mash anything in there. So let's make sure we're squeezing. I always like to joke and tell people I'm aiming for my cupcake tattoo right here, but kind of upper thigh area. Nice 3 points of contact, nice little squeeze like so. I'm turning my leg at a bit of a sideways angle. That way the pole can slide nicely up in between the foot and the beginning of your shin. So not straight, but a bit of an angle here. Also, that way we can create our shelf, and then when we go to squeeze our legs together, we've got that nice little wrap between the front bit of your foot and then the inside of the knee. So using my core nice and tightly engaged, branching up into the lats and shoulders, I'm going to kind of give myself a nice little pull here, creating that nice foot. We don't want to ever step too high. I would say maybe heel to knee would be about appropriate height to start with your initial step, making that shelf, outside hand then coming above your inside hand, which should be the same as the leg that is on the pole first. Outside hand coming above, tightening my core, pressing that leg against the pole, other leg is coming in front. I'm making a nice point here to help engage and create that front bit of the sandwich we're making with our feet. This little Achilles heel spot right here will become a nice little like lever, bone, ledge, edge, however you want to call it. That's going to come around and kind of hook and wrap the pole. As we advance further on, you'll realize this little heel hook right here comes in handy for quite a few things. Feel free to get comfortable with that positioning and placement. Coming back to our sandwich step, creating that back ledge, bringing the knee towards the pole, outside hand coming up, core is going nice and tight. I am pulling and engaging through my lats, shoulders, and then into the arms, bringing that front foot around, giving it a nice point to create that ledge, squeezing the knees together, pushing the hips forward, so I now have my upper thighs into the pole as well. This should be a nice secure position. In fact, if you want to strengthen from here, you can drop your booty low into like a squat position, keeping this squeeze on the legs nice and tight, and we can use our upper half to pull ourselves and lower back down again, keeping that squeeze and engagement. Nice little pole squat activity to help strengthen your leg grip on the pole. One more time, just for good measure. That caterpillar style climb, foot shelf, wrapping, crunching, engaging, grabbing high, pulling through the lats, shoulders, traps, crunching the core, bringing the knees and feet up to our chest, and then stepping up into that nice new re-gripped leg position. Re-wrapping those hands, and again, pulling and stepping up and up.